Hello. Good morning, friends. I am John McLean, and it is the privilege of a lifetime to get to be a Unity minister, and especially to be in service to you at this moment in my life at Unity of Verde Valley in Cottonwood, Arizona. A lovely place. You know how much I miss you. I love you when I am there. Well, I love you all the time. But I love it when I'm there, and it's a very special opportunity to connect, which I appreciate. And it's also good that we get to connect this way too. So I am here to offer you ongoing commentary. I don't call my speaking sermons so much, or talks. That seems a little clinical. But I hope to offer commentary on the truths that we share so that you might see something from a different angle, from a different point of view, therefore getting new insight or new ways to apply what you already know to be true. The basis of the commentary that I've been doing lately is based on the 12 powers, Charles Fillmore's concept of the 12 powers, aspects of soul or consciousness that every person has, and that every person is given at birth. I'm basing my commentary, or getting inspiration, I'm getting my prompts from a book called How to Use Your 12 Gifts from God by William Warch, a standard Unity text about the 12 powers. And we have done a variety of them so far, have we not? We've looked at faith, strength, judgment, love, will, and how about today we do order? I know that sounds like I'm making this up as I go along, but I'm prepared. Let us do order. Order, the author shares with us, order is my ability to develop consciousness in proper sequence. Mind, body, action. Order is my ability to develop consciousness in proper sequence. Mind, body, actions. Order is my adjustment and harmony in health, illumination, and prosperity. Order is my ability to keep God first in my continuous development. All great ideas, yes. I'm going to speak about this first comment here, though. Order is my ability to develop consciousness in proper sequence in mind, body, and action. Now, as an aside, but an important one, most of us know the expression divine order, that everything is in divine order. And that may be true. It is true, actually, for sure. But I want to caution us to always remember to say that everything is in divine order very often leads us to take a spiritual bypass. It lets us off the hook for being involved in a right and proper outcome for a situation that might be going on in our lives. To say, oh, well, la-di-da, everything is in divine order, means I'm going to give myself a pass. I'm not going to get involved in this. Well, if it matters to you, and if it's about your life, your health, your relationships, your purpose, if it's about your life, you better be fully involved and fully engaged in it. Because you see, when we say everything is in divine order, that actually is true, because whatever is going on in the exterior, which may be really messy, really unfortunate, I'll leave it there. No doubt what we're looking at is the inevitable consequence of all that has gone before, because that is what the divine order is. The divine order is a way of seeing things rightly. Eric Butterworth used to say, our work is not to make things right so much as to see things rightly. And in the seeing things rightly and holding fast to that vision, that image, and taking action, the inevitable consequence of that will be the solution we are looking for, the healing that we are seeking, the righting of the relationship, be it personal, with one's own self, with another, with an extended family, with the church community, with the world at large, with the workplace. So I want to caution us never to put our hands up and say everything's in divine order, meaning I ain't going to get involved in this. Not my circus, not my monkeys. But to say, how can I see this rightly so that I can begin a chain of right action, knowing that the divine order will lead to a better outcome. That the divine order will initiate the proper sequence of mind, body, and action. This makes sense, yes? You know, all these truth ideas, they're not really complex. They're very simple. And they're simple in a profound way. And to live according to these truths is never easy. It is simple, but not easy. Divine order, when we say, is mind, body, action. Also, I'd like to perhaps add this to your current level of understanding. When we say mind, I mean God mind, divine mind, divine idea or vision. What is the best possible outcome that could happen here, that could happen there? Because, I'm sure I've said this before, all solutions exist equally in the mind of God. In the non-manifest realm, all solutions exist equally. The solution is there already. And it has no preference what comes forth into the world. And so if that's true, how do we direct things, meaning what is ours to do, in being a cause to a better outcome? It's first knowing that in the mind of God there is the outstanding solution. There is the healing that we're seeking. There is the demonstration that we're seeking. And to know that, as we used to say, to name that and claim that this too, this is for me. This is for me. It already exists in the mind of God. And then I need to create the image and the reality of it in my mind. So when our author says mind, body, action, it means God, mind, my consciousness, located within my person as far as we know, right? Nobody knows what consciousness really is. And then to have the courage of continuous action. as living, as thinking, as knowing that that solution is part of my life, doing what I need to do to make sure that I am a part of this solution. I am a part of the creative process, yes? And then be glad when it happens. This is probably apocryphal, maybe not. It might be real. But in some reading that I did years ago, there was a commentary supposedly about Native American spirituality. I mean, as if it was only one thing, right? But this comment was that those who live in harmony with nature said, we never pray for rain. We never pray for rain. We pray rain. And when it comes, we give thanks. How about that? We don't pray for rain. We pray rain and give thanks when it comes. That is a deep understanding. Whether it's accurate or not, it still illustrates a truth. That is a real understanding of what the essential harmony really is and how it works and what is humankind's part in the creative process. And that, my friends, is what the divine order is. You may ask, and some of you may turn to the person next to you and say, what the difference between praying rain and praying for rain? When I pray for rain, I am affirming that I do not have. Yes? When I pray for rain, when I pray for health, when I pray for peace in my mind and in my home, that affirms that it is not present reality. When again, all things are a current reality in the mind of God. So I will know that, I will pray that, I will affirm the current reality in the mind of God. Or, as we sometimes say, and let's use that metaphor for rain again, shall we? I know that there is rain somewhere. I know it is raining somewhere. I don't need to know exactly where. But I know within this creation that we call Earth, which is our home, it is a natural, everyday function of our weather system, which supports us and sustains us. And so the wise consciousness knows that if there is rain anywhere, there can be rain for me. If there is good anywhere, that means there is good, and I will claim it now. If there is healing anywhere or for anyone, then there is healing for me. Simple, profound, really real. How does it then enter my life? That's the beauty part, and that's why it's part of a spiritual, metaphysical, not physical world that we live in. It's simply the way things happen. Them that's got shall get, them that's don't shall lose, is what Jesus said in the vernacular. What is that action that guarantees that? It's the nature of human experience. So if there is something missing in my life, and I invoke the divine order around this. I am first, foremost, and steadfastly, which is the key, consistent and persistent. I am knowing that there is the good that I am seeking. And I will hold the vision of that in my mind's eye, in my imagination, on my vision board, in my journaling, in my minute-to-minute thinking, which is where we can get off track, and in all of my conversations. Do you remember a few weeks ago when we had that wonderful burning bowl ceremony, and together we read the Optimist Creed, and I said, this is not la-di-da land. This is a way of operating. This is a way for each and every one of us to be an active part in the creation and the solution of all things that we are seeking and hoping to be a part of. To think health and to talk health. To rejoice in success of others as I do in the success of my own. That's what being vigilant really means. And if it is a physical healing that I'm seeking, you cannot say that there is good elsewhere or healing is available. That's a divine reality, yes? And then talk to every single person that you meet and tell them how much your back hurts, or how stupid the doctor is, and they were going to do this and they never did that. We are not in the divine order. We've given ourselves an out, and we are expressing what we really believe or expect, and that's when we go back. What is it I am expecting? Is this a current reality on planet Earth somewhere for someone? Why not for me? I will do what is mine to do, to see it rightly, to speak about it rightly, to hold the vision of it, to take action if necessary, not always, to take action if necessary, and then when it arrives, to give thanks. How about that, huh? How about that? And one more thought. One thing that seems to be true as we look at life's experiences, our own experiences. There is a teaching in our metaphysical array that the greater idea always heals the lesser idea. I mean, that is really a foundation stone to what we're talking about here in terms of the process of divine order, mind of God, mind of humankind, demonstration, outpicturing. The greater idea always heals the lesser idea, which is why it is so really important. The crucial part of the process is to not forget, as Dr. Howard Thurman would say, not forget that to which my life is devoted. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. Keep fresh before me the moment of the truth that God is a present reality, the answer to every need already exists. Keep fresh before me the reality that my work in this is to see things rightly, to know what I expect. And in your mental work, in your prayer work, if you want to always say, this or something better is manifesting for all people concerned, then you might add that. If that makes deep sense to you, please go ahead and add that. Because we don't want to limit. We don't want to limit the good that could happen according to the limit of our imagination or belief. And by God, when it does happen, to give thanks that once again you have proved the principle, which is what Master Teacher, parentheses, Rabbi Jesus, taught us, to prove the principle. This is the crown jewel of human experience. Let's conclude this with a brief meditation, if you will. I will invite you to close your eyes and to take a deep breath. And to know that this week, during your quiet times, you will make a demand on consciousness, on your consciousness, to get in touch with what is truly important for you in your life, what needs to come forth now, so that you will know the blessings of being alive at this moment. And to be absolutely certain, because all of humanity has seen this happen 100 million times, and it is written about and taught about, that there is a solution. And my part is to keep true to the best that is within me, and to know that this good will come. And when it does, give thanks. And I give thanks for all the teachers who have come before us, who have shared this wisdom and this truth to shine light on our way. And breathe deep. And no matter what else is going on in the world, and there are things that are not pleasant that are going on in the world, but it is also true that for most of us, for most people, all is well, and life is good, and we are truly blessed. And that, my friends, is my truth. And I'll see you again soon. Until then, take care.